Okay, I have a strange feeling that I'm not going to like this fragrance. The latest Dior Sauvage flanker, it's called Eau Forte. This is the first one created by Francis Kurkdjian since he took over the seat that Francois Demachet held. He created all of the previous versions of Sauvage, and now we've got a new flanker, a non-alcoholic flanker from Dior for Sauvage, and I'm going to tell you all about it coming right up. This is the first impressions. I haven't got my nose on it. So again, as I said, I have a feeling I'm not going to like it. What do you guys think? What is the consensus? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Find out coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Sebastian. I'm talking about the latest Dior Sauvage flanker. It's called Eau Forte. Brand spanking new fragrance, a new flanker. Did they need another flanker in this series? I felt like Elixir was the best. They could have ended on a high note if this is not good. And from what I hear, the consensus is not really great. But do let me know, what do you think? I haven't got my nose on it. I'm curious. I'm not the biggest fan of alcohol-free fragrances. Non-alcoholic, I should say. But are you guys a fan of alcohol-free fragrances? Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. I don't know. But in general, those of you that spray fragrance in your hair, especially ladies with long hair, the alcohol will damage it. I spray perfume on my hair, especially since I put a pomade on, and it clings on, so I have great trail when I'm walking around, moving around. People can smell me. But I'm also the type of guy that gets his hair cut frequently, so it replenishes. So I haven't dealt with damaging hair, but usually alcohol-free fragrances are perfect for that. And there are some fragrances out there that are very popular that are alcohol-free. For example, Frederic Malle has a lot of alcohol-free flankers of their popular fragrances, including something like Portrait of a Lady and things like that. But again, this is Sauvage Eau Forte, the 5th flanker of the Sauvage series of fragrances. 2024 launch, Francis Kurkdjian created. 100 ml is at $193 for alcohol-free fragrance. Yeah, that doesn't sound that good. Yes, I paid for it. I didn't get any deals or promotions on this. I did buy another fragrance for my sales associate, and so I'm telling you about this here. So there are some things that are written on the website. I want to read them to you before I open this. So this is the description from the Dior website, so we can get an understanding of the whole deal with this. Sauvage Eau Forte Parfum embodies an emblematic freshness that is amplified and prolonged by the power of water. An intensity made possible by an innovative alcohol-free formula exclusive to Dior. Francis Kurkdjian, Dior Parfum creative director, imagined Sauvage Eau Forte Parfum as a perfume for men that blends the freshness of an eau de toilette and the intensity of a parfum. So yeah, this is a parfum fragrance. So it's a non-alcoholic or alcohol-free fragrance that is parfum concentration. This singular creation explores the uncharted territory of a fresh and spicy fougere with an unexpected combination of cool spices, bleached lavender, and musky wood. It says musky wood, not woods, but musky wood. An exhilarating composition, Sauvage Eau Forte Parfum embodies both a cool freshness and a breathtaking power through an unprecedented concentration that is 100% alcohol-free. Strengthened by the freshness of water, the blend of cool spices, bleached lavender, and musky woods attains its ultimate expression. Sauvage Eau Forte, the power of water. Now that is all the description that's written on there, but now we've got a quote from Francis Kurkdjian. To convey the power of water, I reinvented the signature freshness of Sauvage by moving away from the traditional citrusy notes of lemon and bergamot to capitalize on the vibrant freshness of cool spices. Thanks to the alcohol-free formula, I was able to stretch this freshness to the extreme. Sauvage Eau Forte deconstructs the classic model of a men's fougere with the invention of a new spicy freshness. Francis Kurkdjian, Dior Perfume Creative Director. So those are what I've gathered from the Dior website. And then now we've got some notes breakdown. It says, notes of cool spices. Immersed in water, the spice notes reveals a more intense and full-bodied freshness when paired with a deeply potent elemi resin. Then, notes of lavender. Lavender is freed of its aromatic accents as if bleached in water to create a new freshness and reveal its sensual base. Then finally, woody and musky notes. The woody notes, washed in water, welcome a breeze of musky notes. So everything is washed in water. What does that sound like to you guys? Do you like the idea? Anyway, let's go ahead and open up Sauvage Eau Forte. Again, I don't think I'm going to like this one. We shall see. I usually don't like to read reviews and hear what other people are saying, but it was tough not to not hear what people are saying with this one. Especially since I visited a store and things like that, and consensus was a bit not very positive. Although, I believe this is just getting the launch now. I ordered this from Saks Fifth Avenue in New York City. I deal with Sal there. I buy a lot of my Dior fragrances from him, and I hope he doesn't get angry that I will see what the reaction is. So this is Sauvage Eau Forte. Very typical to the other Dior Sauvage fragrances. And of course, when you do an alcohol-free fragrance, it does have that weird milky consistency. The first time I actually experienced alcohol-free fragrance was with the brand Sabe Mason. Are you guys familiar with that house? I don't know what's going on with them. They've come and gone and come back. But they had some alcohol-free fragrances, and I experienced them. And they were milky like this. There's another famous house in France. Always forget the name of this brand. They also do all non-alcohol or alcohol-free fragrances. So let's smell this and see what it's all about. Instantly, I'm getting a herb market. South of France, Provence, where you're walking through markets and you can smell the herbs selling. Herbs of Provence. I don't know why. It's giving me that kind of a vibe. Obviously mixed in with spices because they have spices. And then I know I'm not getting citruses, but I feel like there are some fresh citruses in there. Very non-distinct, nondescript kind of citruses. Because there's definitely a freshness here. I'm getting pepper. There's spices, fresh spices. And I feel like the elemi resin, to me, has a pepperiness about it. Maybe I'm getting the pepperiness from that. Doesn't smell like Sauvage. Not giving me the Sauvage vibe whatsoever. And I don't know about this, man. Did the Sauvage collection need an Eau Forte or an alcohol-free fragrance? Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy Sauvage Elixir. I love that. But again, it's kind of a luxury take on the original Sauvage. This is giving me herb market vibes. Herb and spice market, and it just instantly transports me to the south of France. It smells like herbs of Provence. So I feel like there's all these like herbs that go into the whole herbs of Provence spice bouquet or whatever you get, the jar of it. I mean, I buy that stuff all the time when I go, bring it back and gift them, and that's the kind of vibe it's giving me. I mean, I can pick out the lavender, because typically when you're buying herbs of Provence from that kind of a market, there's also dried lavender there you're smelling as well. So I feel like it's mixed together. Yeah, let's go ahead and spritz on skin. You've got the white stuff all over it. Man, what have they done? Why? Why bother with this release? Okay, let me take a consensus here. Are you a fan of alcohol-free fragrances, and was this necessary? Is there enough of a market for people to buy this stuff? Do people know what alcohol-free is, and will they opt for alcohol-free versus your regular perfumes and fragrances with alcohol in it? Somebody that does not know alcohol-free, they're going to see Eau Forte on it. Are they going to want to look it up and say, oh, it's alcohol-free, I think I'll get that? It is a bit oily. I'm rubbing it in. I mean, it's a boring scent, man. What is this? This is not even Sauvage. I mean, it might have the idea of Sauvage, but Francis, what have you done? God. I mean, I think it might find an audience, but for this price point, I think most people will get fragrance with alcohol in it. Because personally, my experience with alcohol-free is it doesn't have projection and sillage and things like that. This might appeal to somebody that's not really into fragrances. Somebody that's completely anti-fragrance. They're afraid of what's inside. They don't want alcohol on skin. And they're going to go with something like this. Now, the ingredients on the bottom, I'm not going to read the ingredients, but yeah, I don't know, man. This is a kind of a waste of money, I think, sadly. $193, almost $200 for something that's actually not good at all. And to me, it smells just like an herb market in the south of France when you're going through them and smelling the herbs. Like basil and marjoram and rosemary and thyme and all these herbs mixed together to create herbs of Provence. I'm not exactly sure what goes into it, because I know lavender doesn't, but sometimes I've seen lavender mixed in there. I'm also not getting much of... No, I'm getting some woods, almost like wood shavings under there, but it is very, very subtle. It's like so subtle and close to the skin, no projection whatsoever. This is completely disappointing. If you have Sauvage Elixir, you do not, absolutely not need this. I mean, obviously, if you have Sauvage Elixir, you don't care that your fragrance has alcohol in it. So, if you have Sauvage Elixir, are you going to opt for the alcohol-free version? Because it smells nothing like it, by the way. Sure, it might remind you of it, but I'm not even reminded of it. Man, this is bad. What happened to you, Dior? What happened to you, Sauvage? This is disappointing. I don't know if I can say more about this, but it does leave a kind of a smooth, creamy, not oil, but kind of lotiony. That's kind of good, but do I want that or I want perfume, you know? Again, Sauvage Elixir was great. Even the Parfum was great. The original was an ambroxan bomb for designers, for a men's designer fragrance. The Elixir is very luxurious. I love it. It's got that creaminess, the ambery touches, but lots of spices and aromatics and citruses. I think this is a dud. Sad dud. And I think the trend of alcohol-free fragrances, I don't know. What do you guys think? Are people going to go for it? Why do they charge so much more for an alcohol-free fragrance? Is it the technology that Dior is using? I don't know, man, but this is a complete waste of money for me. $200 wasted. I hope I can return it or sell it. But do let me know what your thoughts are on Sauvage EAU Forte. I hate this. Really, really hate it. And I feel like I've wasted money on it. But do let me know what you think. Will you buy it? Will you completely ignore this one? Skip it? Let me know. Put a comment down below. And what was the latest, greatest Dior fragrance that you purchased? Was it Elixir, Sauvage Elixir? Could it be a classic like Fahrenheit Parfum or Eau Sauvage Parfum? Eau Sauvage Parfum, Fahrenheit Parfum, Dior Homme Parfum. Amazing parfums. But this... Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.